is NBA action. This week, our playoff coverage continues with Patrick Ewing's Knicks, who are trying to beat the Heat, and the Utah Jazz, who are looking to make a return trip to the Western Conference Finals. We'll also profile Rockets rookie Matt Maloney, who's making a sudden impact in Houston. And of course, we'll bring you the top 10 plays of the week.
Steve on top is open, MJ. And the buzzer! All right, here we go. Look out! Oh my goodness! Good man! Minnow! Oh, baby! Monkey! Oh, you gotta love it! With a vicious block. And Hill with the explosion! In your face, hat. Look out! Look out! That's up Kemp. Oh man! Throw the tape! He is! What a game! Oh, you gotta love that action!
We tip off our show by taking you into the action in the Eastern Conference, starting off with the Bulls-Hawks matchup. Game 2 against the Hawks. Chicago was looking to come out strong with a repeat performance of their Game 1 victory. But Atlanta had something else in store.
Puts up a three and the other is that, but McCumble right there for the slam.
Hawks backcourt of Mookie Blaylock and Steve Smith combined for 53 points as they handed the Bulls their first playoff loss.
I'm not ready to push the panic button yet. I believe we win the championship. It just may take more games than what people anticipate.
And in Game 3 in Atlanta, the Bulls had something to prove.
Behind by Jordan.
Chicago took the series lead, winning by 20 points with help from reserves Brian Williams and Tony Kukoc.
Tony Kukoc.
The Bulls' defense was the key, holding the Hawks to 28 second-half points.
They really hurt us on the boards, and then we didn't shoot the ball real well. And when you're not shooting the ball well, it allows the other team to be that much more aggressive.
Game 4 found the Hawks determined to tie the series at 2. But it seemed like Michael Jordan had an answer for every run Atlanta made, and he did it in spectacular fashion.
Over the left-handed to it, penetrates lane, left-handed layup good.
Michael Jordan.
Jordan led the Bulls with 27 points in the game. And when the Hawks cut the lead to 3 in the fourth quarter, Michael sealed the win and gave the Bulls a 3-1 series lead.
Knocked away, Jordan steals it, Jordan goes for an uncontested slammer.
Well, we feel like we're definitely in control of the series, and we have an opportunity to win this or close it out on our home court a couple times. That gives us an advantage.
For Game 5, the series moved back to Chicago, where the Bulls bench players helped build an early lead as they combined for 49 points.
Rodman behind the back to Williams.
Chicago rolled to a 15-point win, taking the best-of-7 series 4-1.
We knew the Hawks were going to come out and try to run us tonight, and we tried to do the same to some respect, but, we outplayed them tonight on both ends.
We go back into the action for the other semifinal matchup in the East, the New York Knicks and the Miami Heat. There are several storylines in the Miami-New York series, and one involves Heat coach Pat Riley and Knick counterpart Jeff Van Gundy. When Riley coached the Knicks from 1992 to 1995, Van Gundy was his top assistant. Now, it's the teacher versus the student, and it's clear that they share the same philosophy. In the postseason, the Knicks ranked second in team defense, behind only the Miami Heat.
Rejected by Mourning.
Miami's Alonzo Mourning and New York's Patrick Ewing are at the centers of these top two defenses, and that's only where the similarities begin. Both attended Georgetown, and in the NBA, they've developed an intense rivalry that doesn't get in the way of their friendship or their off-season training.
Trying to work this big fella out.
These summer workouts make the Mourning-Ewing matchup that much more interesting, especially in the playoffs.
I played against him for years, especially during the summertime. I know his comfort level, and I try to make him take shots where he's not comfortable with taking.
Game 1 of the series took place in Miami, and early on, the Heat duo of Alonzo Mourning and point guard Tim Hardaway looked to take the game over.
Down the lane all the way. Yes, sir. Hardaway
But at the end of the third quarter, the Knicks outscored Miami 22-3 to take the lead for good.
Houston, you can tell it, and he's feeling it right now.
New York would go on to win Game 1 by a score of 88-79.
We had a decent lead, and we got to build off of that. You know, when you're out there and you got a team down, experienced team like the Knicks, you got to make plays.
In Game 2, Tim Hardaway was on fire as he almost single-handedly beat the Knicks, leading all scorers with 34 points.
Hardaway with the runner, got it!
But down the stretch, it was Jamal Mashburn who sealed the 4-point win.
Dishes back to Mashburn for 3. That's his first basket tonight.
They won the Atlantic Division. They're a great team, but we feel that we're a great team. We're the better team. I just felt that we let one slip away.
For Game 3, the series moved to New York, where the Knicks turned up the heat on defense, holding Miami to just 73 total points, a Knick playoff record. And on offense, they made one clutch hoop after another.
Houston able to shake Marley for the 3. How did he do that?
Led by Patrick Ewing's 25 points, New York took the series lead. But they needed a big defensive stop in the end to preserve the win.
Hardaway picked up by Ewing, who blocks it. Patrick Ewing with a block and the defensive play of the game.
In Game 4, John Starks carried the Knicks on offense, but the Heat stayed close early.
Here's Mashburn underneath Alonzo Mourning for 2.
But 21 spectacular points from the NBA Sixth Man of the Year led New York to a 13-point win and a 3-1 series edge.
I've been with Coach Riley. I've been on a team that's been down 3-1 where he's come back and won. We're going to have to go down there and play a great game to get a win.
Now let's take a look at the playoff picture in the East. By winning their series against the Atlanta Hawks 4-1, the Chicago Bulls now wait to play the winner of the New York-Miami series, which the Knicks currently lead 3-1. Coming up next, our playoff coverage continues out west with the Jazz-Lakers series.
Oh, what a beautiful move by John Stockton.
Then we'll see if Sir Charles can boost the Rockets against Shawn, Kemp, and the Sonics.
Kemp stealing it, jamming.
The Seattle Sonics swept the defending champion Houston Rockets.
Well, the Rockets series was incredible, I thought, because, you know, they were the world champions.
Kick it to Devlin, turn, spins by Drexler, goes to the glass, and shoots! Oh, the Mercedes gets up and slides!
Well, obviously, we were playing well, but at the same time, you know, it's the Rockets. They're going to turn it on in the playoffs, and they, you know, they're going to make that run again, and it never happened.
And the Sonics continue their domination of the Rockets.
You know, every game, every minute, we just played together and pulled for each other, and we just had a great feeling. You know, sweeping them was very special.
Now we take you back into the action with the Western Conference playoffs, beginning with the Jazz-Lakers series. Down 2-0, the Lakers were happy to be home for Game 3, and they jumped out to a big lead.
Oh, what a play!
LA's tough defense forced Karl Malone to miss 18 out of 20 shots, while the offense did the rest as the Lakers went on to a convincing 20-point win.
Slam dunk Ori. You know what? This game's in the refrigerator.
That was an exceptional performance, but again, it was a game that we had to win, and now we've got another one we have to win.
But in Game 4, Karl Malone bounced back from his poor performance in dominating style.
Malone cooks again.
The mailman delivered 42 points and gave the Jazz a commanding 3-1 series lead.
That was a game the other night that I forgot about right away. And my team depended on me to do a lot of things, so I wasn't going to be bashful tonight. But the most important thing, we got to win here now. I expect nothing less out of myself than 100% on Monday.
Game 5 was a battle from the start as the Lakers fought for their playoff lives.
Shaquille O'Neal.
But LA's slim lead vanished as John Stockton evened the score late in the game.
John Stockton! Unbelievable!
Still, the Lakers had a shot to win it and send the series back to LA.
John on the way! No good! We go to overtime.
And in the extra session, MVP candidate Karl Malone came through once again as the Jazz advanced to the Western Conference Finals for the 4th time in 6 years.
It's all over.
I can say how proud I am about the guys and the way we stepped it up. Got a win down there and came back and closed it out here, and I think it was tremendous, and I think our fan was unbelievable.
Now, we take a look at the Houston Rockets-Seattle Sonics series. We begin with Game 2 in Houston. The Sonics jumped out early and built an 18-point lead.
Seattle's got to be pretty happy.
Houston battled back in this crucial contest, but it wasn't enough as the Sonics held on for a big win on the road.
And with the victory, the Seattle Supersonics now take the upper hand in this series.
The scene shifted to Seattle, Washington for Game 3, where it was now the Sonics' turn to protect the home court.
Payton with a jam.
But the Rockets had other ideas and took the lead late in the game.
Big bucket from Clyde Drexler.
Seattle still had one more possession, but Houston's defensive pressure came through to secure the victory.
Olajuwon blocked it. Barkley comes away with the ball. The Rockets get one back here in Seattle.
We've done a pretty good job against this team, and we're hoping to continue that throughout the playoffs, and I don't see why we shouldn't.
Game 4 of the series was exciting from the start and became even more intense when Hersey Hawkins dramatically sent the game into overtime.
Oh, he hit a three. Hersey Hawkins from Gary Payton. Oh, what a game.
The extra session was just as pressure-packed until Rocket rookie Matt Maloney sealed the win with his 8th three-pointer of the game.
Maloney for three. Got it!
Overall, it was a big play for us. I was real satisfied with the look I got and knocked it down.
Down 3-1, the Sonics went back to Houston for Game 5, and they rose to the occasion.
Look at the spin move! Oh, baby!
The Rockets tried desperately to gain control, but the visiting Sonics always had an answer as they extended their season and forced a 6th game back in Seattle.
And the Seattle Sonics stay alive.
We knew what we had to do. We got in the transition a lot, was able to get some easy buckets, and I think that was the key.
Now here's a look at the Western Conference playoff picture. The Jazz have advanced to the conference finals and will meet the winner of the Rockets-Sonics series. If the Sonics win again, they'll force a 7th game in Houston. Coming up next, we'll log on to NBA.com for some news about a former legend who's returning to the game. Then, we'll take you on another memorable trip to the highlight zone for more exciting playoff action.
On the baseline is Ori.
Now it's time to log on to NBA.com for some major coaching news. After coaching 8 years at the University of Kentucky and leading the Wildcats to an NCAA championship, Rick Pitino's taken a head coaching job with the Boston Celtics, where he's looking to restore their championship tradition.
The championship is the culmination of a lot of people's efforts. But the journey for all of us will be a great deal of fun, and I can't wait for it to get started.
This will not be Pitino's first tenure as an NBA coach. During his 2 seasons as the head man of the Knicks, Rick brought an energetic style and pressure defense that helped New York gain a playoff berth in 1988 for the first time in 3 years. Meanwhile, former Celtic legend Larry Bird will return to the NBA, this time as the new head coach of the Indiana Pacers.
If you want to compete in the NBA, you can either be a player or a coach, and that's the only way. And I'm too old to play, so the only option I had was to coach.
Indiana hopes the 3-time league MVP and NBA champion will make the Pacers title contenders once again.
He thinks like a coach, and I also think that he's prepared himself to be a coach.
In other coaching news, Portland's P.J. Carlesimo was asked to step down. During his 3 years with the Trailblazers, he led them to the playoffs every time.
What hurts is that I'm not going to coach in Portland, or not going to coach the Portland Trailblazers anymore.
Eddie Jordan will continue to be the head man in Sacramento. The interim coach was given a 2-year deal and will look to get the Kings back into the playoffs. Next, the NBA announced its Coach of the Year. Pat Riley, who led the Miami Heat to a franchise record 61 wins and their first Atlantic Division title, was named IBM Coach of the Year. Riley becomes only the 2nd coach to win the award 3 times. Time now for the weekly WNBA update. When the WNBA begins play on June 21st, they'll have their own set of rules that differ from the NBA. In the WNBA, the three-point line is 19 feet 9 inches away from the basket, in contrast to the NBA three-point line, which is at 22 feet. The official WNBA ball is slightly smaller than the NBA's, while the game's format will consist of 2 20-minute halves instead of the NBA's 4 12-minute quarters. And finally, the shot clock will be at 30 seconds in comparison to the NBA's 24-second clock. Also on May 14th, the new league will launch its official website, WNBA.com, serving WNBA fans around the world. Now it's time for our viewer email. This week's question comes to us from Simon Malikus of Bovec, Slovenia, who asks, which player holds the record for most three-point field goals without a miss in a playoff game? Laker forward Robert Horry set the record last week in Game 2 against the Utah Jazz.
Horry open for 3. Robert Horry, right between the eyes.
Horry finished the game with 21 points, hitting all 7 of his three-point field goal attempts. Now, we take you to another basketball dimension to see some of the best plays of the week in the Highlight Zone. We've got some explosive moves coming your way in the zone. From rockets taking off to soaring Hawks, we've got it all.
Lead pass, Kemp, hard rush to the rack.
We've got morning dunking and Van Exel passing.
Oh, beat it up the front court. Oh, no, look, pass by Van Exel.
Yeah, it's easy to get pumped up in the zone.
Slam dunk. Van Exel, base left, down under, score layup. What a move.
We need some quiet to concentrate and pull off some playoff tricks. Like Scottie Pippen, who manages to score 2 points for the Hawks. Now, he doesn't want to hear this, but he needs to practice making shots at his own basket. Get into the rhythm.
Kersey missed the jab.
Yes, it's tough to control all your excitement. But remember, sometimes the playoff party is private. Okay, it's time to get focused in the zone on some big-time playoff blocks.
A tumble gets them going.
The Dream also likes to swat them away, and so does Utah's Greg Ostertag. All this great defense has Sir Charles pretty psyched up for some more.
So sent it back. Big block by Morning.
Finally, can you believe someone actually stopped Shaq or stole the ball from John Stockton?
Here's the steal by Jones. He's going, gone.
I wanted to draft in
ball handling performance of the week.
Now a quick move toward the baseline, to the hoop, reversed it in, and a foul.
Laker fans are saying, EJ, where have you been?
He gets isolated against Brian Russell, who just gets left flat-footed, broke his ankles almost.
Now we profile a sharp-shooting Rocket rookie who's making a sudden impact in Houston. Imagine being in the same starting lineup with future Hall of Famers Barkley, Olajuwon, and Drexler. Well, that's exactly the situation that young Matt Maloney finds himself in.
Back to Maloney again. Puts up the shot. Oh! Matt Maloney!
I think initially, to succeed in this level, you have to establish yourself as a player. And when you're on the floor, you have to be aggressive.
He's hit some big shots in his short Houston career.
You have to do things that you've done historically in your game that has gotten you to this level.
Oh, keep him coming.
Matt wasn't even drafted out of college. But after a year in the CBA, he earned a spot with the Rockets. And because of injuries, Maloney was inserted into the starting lineup.
Matt Maloney has found a home in Houston.
He's gained those guys respect. You know, when Brent Price got hurt, some of the veterans came up and said they had a lot of confidence and Matt coming in and holding the job down.
Working well with his famous teammates, Matt held on to the point guard job and became the only rookie in the NBA to start all 82 games.
Good pass to Olajuwon for the slam.
You know, I learned early that my role wasn't to be the star of this team, obviously, and it was to distribute the ball and to play off the superstars.
My goodness gracious, Matt Maloney.
Matt is a good player. He's solid in all aspects of the game, but I think the main thing, he plays with a lot of confidence.
Maloney's impact on the Rockets has not gone unnoticed. He was named second-team All-Rookie and participated in the Schick Rookie game.
Maloney will fire up a three. Got it. Matt Maloney's on fire.
Yes, it's been a dream season for Matt. His only regret is that he hasn't been able to share his success with his father, a longtime college coach who passed away last spring.
Well, he's the biggest influence in my life. I think both on and off the court, this was his dream as well as mine to see me make this level and succeed.
For the Rockets to succeed in the postseason, Maloney will have to continue to hit big shots because opponents are so focused on stopping the Rockets' big three.
We want him to keep his head up and know that we're a team, we're in this together, and we're going to win together.
With a Rocket playoff record of 8 3-pointers in Game 4 against the Sonics, Matt has made a name for himself.
If you don't know my name by now, you'll remember it. Matt Maloney.
Welcome to sunny California.
10, 9, 8.
Now it's time for the top 10 plays of the week in our courtside countdown. At number 10, Utah's Bryant Russell.
Bryant Russell on the offensive glass.
Malone with the tough fade, and Hughes the saving grace. Russell.
At 9, it's the Lakers' Jerome Kersey.
Kersey drive, reverse shot. It's good. What a shot.
Great move here by Jerome Kersey with the 360 move.
At number 8, it's the Rockets' Clyde Drexler.
Great block by Drexler. Drexler got back and saved the day.
Number 7, Kobe Bryant.
Kobe's got it. Oh, what a play and what a great pass from Rooks, rim high.
I tell you, Kobe putting on a show.
At number 6, it's Houston Rocket passing at its best.
Well, he has to save it. He does to Barkley. Barkley lays it up for 2. Oh, what a play. Oh, that's some heady basketball by the Rockets.
At 5, it's Scotty to Michael.
What a finish.
Big time.
At number 4, Utah's Jeff Hornacek with this circus shot.
What a shot there by Jeff Hornacek. What a move.
Only a great shooter could make that move.
All one hand. You see him holding his wrist right there, and Jeff Hornacek flips it off the glass.
At number 3, New York Knicks center Patrick Ewing.
Ewing. Oh, wow. Look at him. He's begging for the basketball. He thinks about it, and bam. Oh, wow.
At 2, it's rookie Kobe Bryant again.
Here's Kobe Bryant. What a move. Face left and a slam dunk for the right hand.
Oh, baby, what a power play. Going left to right. He hammered that baby home.
Reaching, extending that right arm, the young rookie.
The number 1 play of the week is this shot by Michael Jordan.
A left-handed wraparound. Good for Michael Jordan.
Spin baseline underneath. Left hand hang in the air. Spinner off the glass.
I'm Jim Fagan for NBA Action. Join us next week